Hey, what is up mortals, it is BubblyNami here, and before we get into today's video, there is something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in there are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if this video hits 500 likes by the end of this week, we will continue this what if. Thirdly, if you didn't know, only 41.3% of you guys are subscribed to us, so please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now with that out the way, let's get into the story. Everything had gone by like a flash before Midoriya even knew it. From the battle at the camp against the villain, the class of 1A had fought with the villains and avoided major casualties, save for the fact that Bakugo had been captured. It was a huge blow for all. Not even the school's image had been spared, but Midoriya took the brunt of it all, with the weighing feeling that he'd failed in protecting his friend, even though he was just within a fingertip's reach. Bruised, battered and swollen, Midoriya recuperated in the hospital. He had come up on top against the villain Muscular, and even gaining a new quirk, he talked it out with All Might and found out it belonged to the fourth user, a quirk called Danger Sense. It had been vital to ensure that he won the battle, but the whole affair wasn't all too favorable for him. He suffered from multiple fractured bones, bruises and lacerations all over. Even his muscles and bones felt like water from the amount of pain he incurred using Black Whip on full throttle, and his mind was exhausted from the heavy toll of his new quirk. But still, all he could think about at the time was how could he help in saving Bakugo. Then he got his chance, when a few of his classmates had came up with the idea to do it, so which they brought to him, and Midoriya was all the willing to oblige. So many things had occurred just under the space of one night. The group had arrived at a warehouse, where they thought Bakugo would be held captive, only to be shocked with the discovery of a Nomu production factory. Then, the shocking resurgence of All For One followed, with a fated reunion, a gruesome spell that saw to the end of a legacy of the #1 hero, and the passing on of the torch of Symbol of Peace. Next, it's your turn. The message of All Might shot directly at him. He realized now that it was his turn to carry the Symbol of Peace. The following week saw more changes as Class 1A had been assigned to dormitories, and now they were tasked with securing their provisional licenses. So here Midoriya stood, dressed in his black hero costume outlined by white patterns and black gloves and red boots. Fit for the job, except he was confused. Gym Gamma had been set, the terrain laid out by Cementos with large jutting rock columns, building a conductive battle environment for all fighting styles. Scattered across the field were clones of the hero Ectoplasm. They were tasked with the duty of assisting the students in developing their special moves, that apparently would give them the edge in a provisional license exam. Most of the class were already at in firing away furiously with relentless attacks to the clones, to draw more power from their quirks or create something new. But what could he possibly do for a special move? What did he lack? What did he need to get better? He wondered as he watched his classmates. He had now come upon two quirks, Black Whip and Danger Sense. The question was what he'd do to utilize both of them to considerate capacity without harming himself. If he used Black Whip too much, he'd experience the immense burning pain, and Danger Sense made his head hurt intensely. How could he use them in moderation yet effectively? It took a while to look at Sero. He watched as he attacked a clone furiously, and he studied him. His Black Whip and Sero's tape were similar, and even the usage used for restraint and mobility. He tried to see where Sero lacked in, what hindered him, and possibly apply it to himself. Then he got an idea. Two, rather. It was obvious he couldn't increase his usage of Black Whip. His body wasn't ready for it, and he didn't have control over Danger Sense. But what if he could get an equipment to supplement? He had already received an earful from an Ectoplasm clone that he had suggested he'd get support gear to develop his quirk, if he couldn't think of a special move. So he set out of the gym to the first floor of UA, sending a greeting to All Might as he passed him on the way out of the gym. At the development studio, Izuku met Mei. She was explosive, literally. She came out exploding through the door and landed on top of him. He remembered her from the sports festival. Apparently, she was a student of the support course. "So, what can I do for you? Blasters? Full body suit?" May asked Midoriya, giddily upon hearing of upgrades. Ochako and Tanya were here as well, working on their upgrades too. "Well," Midoriya started fumbling to get out of the suit May had forced him. "See, I thought of it. I saw some of the things I was lacking in. My quirk allows me to restrain people and allows me to get around, but I realized with it, I'm not mobile enough. If I choose one direction to head with my quirk, I'm not able to easily change it. I don't have enough strength in my body to change mid-air, and also, I'm not quick enough. It feels as if the air is pushing me against me when I try to move." Midoriya started with his hand to his chin, and a poised, focused look on his face, rambling while May listened with rapt attention and much enthusiasm. "Also, my quirk is more of a support quirk. I realized I'd have to battle strategically if I came to a slugfest with power-type quirks, so maybe I could get something that helps me use it more offensively and powerfully." Midoriya added he knew it was unleashed a higher percentage of Black Whip. He could easily attain more offensive power, but at a big detriment to himself. That really is a lot of things to do. I'm so excited. I have the perfect idea to do just that. Give me a sec." May responded chirpily, bouncing on the soles of her feet and rummaging through heaps of scattered junk tech, till she pulled out some blueprints. She took out a pen and began to make some adjustments to the plans on a work table, and in a few minutes she bounced back to Midoriya. "Whoa, you really think you can pull this off?" Midoriya asked May, unsure. "That's why I'm in the support course, isn't it? But it'll take a while. It'll have to go inspected, right, power loader?" May said, passing through blueprints over to the teacher. "Yeah, we can have this ready in a couple of days, but it'll have to be inspected and pass. Drop off your hero suit for the modifications," Power Loader said to Midoriya, ruffling through thin sheets of paper. "Trust me, it's gonna be amazing," May said with glittering eyes. Some days later, at the Gamma Gym, Class 1A was still practicing on their special moves. All Might was making rounds to check on the progress of his students. Bakugo had gone far. He'd perfected this concentrated explosion that was precise with a cutting edge. Testing it out, he aimed at a rock and punched a hole right through it. With his AP shot, but a huge chunk of the rock tore off, cascading down there where All Might stood. Everyone was petrified, even the foremost symbol of peace, as they watched the rock plummet. "Black lightning! Tree of woe!" A black strip blazed through the air, zigzagging like lightning traveling forward, as time seemed to slow, and then it made its way to the rock, and then the tendril began to divide, separating into multiple strips, forcing themselves at the rocks, attacking in and breaking into its cracks and crevices, all the way through to the other side of the rock, cleanly destroying the rock into smaller chunks. Then swiftly, the branch-like tendrils wrapped onto the rubble, holding them afloat in midair. The rubble was pulled back, tossed aside. Midoriya used the momentum to propel himself forward, dashing through the air at a quick pace effortlessly, without much impeding his quickness as he come to a halt in front of All Might. "All Might, are you alright?" "Yeah, sure, I'm fine," All Might stuttered in awe. "Whoa, what the heck was that, Deku? Were you just hovering above the ground right now?" Ijiro asked, shocked as much as everyone else in the gym was. It was no surprise considering how Midoriya looked and what he had just done. His suit was entirely different, with a sleek black, shiny texture that appeared streamlined with red, patterns tracing his sides, metal shoulder pads, with his regular red belt. But there were many changes now. He had sported white knee pads extending from his thighs down to his boots. His red boots as well had one of the biggest changes. With armor laced to it, the soles had a circular that could slide open. Implanted in his boots were devices that emitted magnetic pulses that acted in contrast with the Earth's magnetic field. It pushed him off the Earth and allowed him to hover above the ground, increasing mobility. Along with the streamlined suit that reduced air resistance and Black Whip, he could pull himself along rather quickly and fluidly, change his direction mid-air. But the boots worked in short bursts. The other upgrade was his arms, ridded with armored gauntlets and gloves. At either side of his arms were small cylindrical gadgets that acted like pistons. Midoriya could flood his quirk into them and shoot Black Whip at a faster rate, just like he'd done earlier. "Whoa, Midoriya, you really got yourself some rad tech," Ijiro said after asserting him. "But what's with the ominous name? Tree of Woe?" Ijiro asked. "Well, I asked Fumakage for help with naming my technique, and he came up with it," Midoriya chuckled. "Ah, figures." Ijiro nodded in understanding. Upgrades ready, Midoriya was ready for the provisional license exams. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writers of this video and editors for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those departments. We're always looking for more members to join us. That's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out mortals, have a fantastic day.